Hello snowboarders of the internet, I am your host TC and today I will be reviewing the Bataleon Blaster heel wrap binding. If you're interested in this binding or any other bindings I mentioned in this video, make sure you go down to the description and click those affiliate links down below, and that way you don't have to go searching the internet yourself. I rode this binding at Copper Mountain where it was a weird flat light day. There was a thin layer of clouds all day. The sun was trying to poke out but really couldn't. It would be like you'd see it for 2 seconds and then boom, gone. But the snow stayed amazing actually. There were a few icy spots, especially towards the edges of the runs, but for the most part it was hero snow where you could just really lay that edge in and not have to worry about it. There were perfect groomers there as well. A little bit of slough piles, but really nothing too crazy that you're just gonna be like, I'm over it. You skiers suck, that sort of thing. It was overall a really good day, and I used my Ride Fuse boots and my Jones Stratos board. This binding has a pretty straightforward adjustability scheme to it where you have a screw on each side of the binding here. You just kind of back that screw out and you can slide the heel cup back and forth to really get your boot centered on it. You can also just take off this ankle strap and ladder completely, flip it over and put it on the opposite one, just flip flop them. And that's gonna give you a little bit different feeling there where it's actually gonna sit lower on your instep. So giving you a little bit more playful up top and more locked in feel down low. The way it sits right now is just a little bit higher on that ankle to give you a little bit more precision. You can also move the toe strap as well just by pushing down, sliding it back, pulling back up. You have two different settings there. You also have flip tabs on the ankle strap, so flip it, set it, forget it, that sort of thing. And then you can move this foot pad as well. So if you do get pesky toe drag, you could slide that thing out, kind of ramp your toe up a little bit and just take care of that. And then you do have a flip tab for the forward lean adjuster on the Highback here. So just flip it down, slide it, flip it back up, you're good to go. No need to twist this one. It's not gonna let you, if you try, you'll snap it clean off. These straps are super solid. I love Oxtec straps just because how much these things actually stretch. Like I could just slide my boot in and tighten this as much as I really want just to have it just engulf the whole toe of my boot, and it grips my square toe box extremely well. Even for these not being the most padded straps, they are still very comfortable. I can get those last clicks in and have zero problems with them with pressure points or anything like that, where I really like rocking this ankle strap up top here just on the high ankle. But as I mentioned before, you can flip it, put it on the other binding and have it sit a little bit lower. But overall, they are very solid. They are on that more responsive side, not super stiff or anything like that because they do have some play, but overall it is that responsive playfulness that you're really looking for to get out of this binding. The ratchets on these bindings are very solid. There is no play in that toe ratchet. Very minimal play in the ankle ratchet, really none to like speak of, but just because it does move a little bit and you can hear it, I might as well mention it. But overall, they are very easy to get into. It is a big ratchet that you can grip, and since I use mittens, I had zero problems with that. I will say when you're getting out, sometimes you feel like they kind of lock in and get a little sticky, especially when you do go for that last click. So just keep that in mind. Towards the end of the day, it started to loosen up a little bit for me and I didn't have that problem anymore. But overall, they are solid ratchets. There's really nothing to write home about, so you shouldn't have any problems because I didn't have any, so you shouldn't either. While I have you here, you might as well like, subscribe, click that bell, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our scheduled programming. This Highback is gonna be soft when you're pretty much bending it in your hand, but as you strap in, it does get quite a bit stiffer, just like the Chaos heel wrap. This one does stiffen up when it's finally on your boot. So you do have a slightly bigger wing on the inside here, so that's just gonna help hold you, but you still have all of that tweakability. As I mentioned before, it is soft to the hand here, but it really does provide a nice heel toe response. And as I mentioned before, you do have this flip tab strap, or this flip tab for forward lean, so you can just flip it, set it, forget it, that sort of thing. You do have a little bit of padding here. It's nothing to write home about. I didn't even notice it, so I'm assuming you won't either. They just kind of put that in there to kind of protect your boot from the inside forward lean. This binding is a little bit softer than the middle of the road, I'll say, but it is still stiffer than the Chaos heel wrap is, but very marginally. Like, it's so close. But anyways, it does have that full foam foot pad under there and one underneath your foot that you're standing on, so it does allow a little bit of that side to side lateral flex. And then you're gonna have a medium sized disc. So it does want to flex a little bit more than if you were to have just that regular full size disc on there. And you are gonna have those medium response straps. So laterally, you're gonna get some play, but really it's gonna be nice and dialed in responsive when you're going heel toe. And as I mentioned with the Highback, there is some play to it, but it's nothing crazy. You're gonna feel flex more on the outside than you do on the inside. And overall, like I said, just that medium to medium soft flexing binding. This binding is just like every other Bataleon binding, that it's nice and damp. You do have that huge foam foot pad underneath the binding here, and then you have a really nice footbed on top. Mixed with a composite chassis, it just cuts down on a lot of those vibrations. I really didn't feel anything. Even when I was going over those sheets of ice, I didn't really feel all that chatter coming up through the board. I could hear it in the board, I just couldn't feel it in my boots or in my knees or in those pesky sore hips. Overall, it is a very nice damp binding ride. So if you need something with a little bit more cushion, definitely look at these. Rider in mind, this binding is made for that rider that pretty much likes to go everywhere. They don't need the stiffest binding out there. They don't have the most aggressive setup, but they just want to take it from Old Mountain to the park, and they don't want to be fully locked in. They want to be able to shift their weight side to side, kind of butter things out and just get a little bit more playful, but still have that precision when you're going heel to toe. If you're looking for another way to get involved in the Angry Snowboarder community, head on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I could explain what it is here, but we have a great video over there getting to it really in depth. I really enjoyed this binding. I don't understand why they have this and the Chaos heel wrap though, to be completely honest with you. They're pretty much built on the same chassis, have an extremely similar Highback, but these have better straps in my opinion. There's so much overlap between those two. Let's get rid of one of them, I think. Probably get rid of the Chaos heel wrap because this thing is better. You have more points to adjust on it. I really do like this binding though. It's nice and damp. And honestly, I do like composite bindings better than metal bindings. So it does everything I wanted it to. The toe strap is amazing on it. The ankle strap, super comfortable. Just overall, a super solid binding. And I think Bataleon does bindings better than anything else in their line. Comparable bindings, the Union Force, the Rome 390 Boss heel wrap, and the K2 edition. As always guys, I've been your host TC, and this has been my review of the Bataleon Blaster heel wrap. If this doesn't sound like the binding for you, you might as well go check out what we have for those comparable bindings, and I'm sure there's something there that you will love.